Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So in this video I'm gonna show you I'm gonna tell you the 10 common questions in PHP and Laravel interview. So as I said in .NET video, I said I'm gonna do it for other programming languages. So it's common questions. It's not all of the questions. They may ask you a lot of things, but the common ones are these ones. So let's start with first question. So what is Laravel? So what is the difference between Laravel and PHP? Laravel is the framework of PHP that used to build modern web application. It follows MVC, Model View Controller. So provides features like routing, authentication, session, caching, and ORM. So it's a lot. So it's a framework of PHP. So if you wanna see what Laravel is, that I'm gonna create some kind of diagram for you here. Client request, route, and I will tell you what its route is. Controller, model, database, and at the end, view. So what is happening in Laravel instead of PHP? When you create a PHP page, you're gonna create a file for each pages, or you can create the functions in PHP. It's kind of hard to work with that. You're gonna create your own models. It's hard to create models. You don't have special routes. You cannot use the special routes, and session authentication, it's so hard to work on PHP. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it's hard. But what the Laravel actually do is that create a controller, model, and database and routes for your view. So in normal PHP, you should create each view. You should create a page for each view, or you should include header in them. It's complete. It's some complex. So, but in Laravel, you have routes like example.com/users/ user. So this is a route. So in PHP it's not easy to use to create that. So this is the user. It means the route. A Laravel work like this. And the first one is controller. As I said in MVC, you have a controller. You create the controller file. You do the programming there. You have a model of your data, model file of your data, and you have your database, and you can convert your you can connect your model to database and you can return it to the user. You can do that in PHP, but it's so hard and it's not usually usual things, but in Laravel you can do that. This is the first one. What is the Laravel? What it should be used. So the second one is, what are immigrations in Laravel? Means that migrations are version control for the database schema. They allow developers to define and share database schema definitions in code. I'm gonna show you how is that. So we use a schema. Let me just zoom in. Create like user and we'll create a function blueprint dollar table. So this is the connection in Laravel. It's not something that we're gonna go for it now. And in here we're gonna have table ID. We're gonna have like table string name. We're gonna have dollar table string like email. So in most systems, mostly all of the systems, emails should be unique. So I'm gonna go with table So this is a migration. Define the database schema like this. Creating database like this. The email should be unique. No one can sign up or create a record email that it exists. So this is the migration to Laravel. And it's so easy to work with it. So this is a PHP file. I don't know why VS Code doesn't use IntelliSense as always. But when you want to create a users table, use it like this. It's going to be name, email should be unique, and table should be timestamps. So this is the schema. Let's head to number 3. What is eloquent ORM in Laravel? Laravel's built in ORM. It means Object Relation Mapper. Allows you to interact with the database using model rather than writing raw queries. You see, when you want to create a query, you should do something like that. SQL, it's equal to, I'm just sending creating sample. Select all from user, where user ID it's equal to 1, and then you're gonna execute it. You're gonna use for, you're gonna use a lot of things to work with it. So this is normal PHP, but in ORM you don't need to do that. So I remove this. In Laravel, use this user, it's equal to user var, email, like example @gmail.com. First $user name should be equal to name updated, and $user save. So this is easy. You select a user by email and you update the name and you save it. This is the ORM. You don't need to write a lot of queries. You know that you should select it, you should save it in a variable, and then you should execute it again to update it. This is Object Relation Mapper, or ORM. In Laravel. So number 4, what is the difference between get, first, find, and pluck? So we have a user here. Let's get. We have a user here. First. We have a user here. Find. We have a user here. It's pluck. Gonna use email, something like that. So what is the difference between these 4 items? The first one is zoom in. This one will return all users. Get means returning all users. First means return first user. Find means return user with ID 1. And this one returns all emails. So this is the difference. In a previous one, we had it like this. the first user that have this email, it's gonna get returned in Laravel, MySQL, or anything. The first user is gonna return. So in this case, in get, if we don't put any var here, it's gonna return all the records. Sorry, in get. Yeah. It's gonna return all the records. In first, if we put var, it's gonna return the user like this. Email is like this. And if we don't put any var here, it's gonna return the first user that recorded. In find, we will get user with ID 1. Just the user that have the ID 1. And in plug, return all emails from the user table. Imagine a user table have, I don't know, ID, name, family, email, phone. When you plug it, it's gonna return all the emails. You can change it to phone, you can change it to name or anything else. And about number 5, what is the service provider in Laravel? Service providers are the central place for configuring applications. They bind services into Laravel's service container. So let's show you with kind of diagram here. This is app service provider. This is register services, and this is boot services. It works like this. The diagram is like this. App service provider is the top level, and then register service and boot services will run after app service provider. I will show you an exam here in coding. Mostly they don't ask you for code, just they ask you for details. So I mean, public function register $this app bind help service function and here return new help service. Sorry. So this is how it's work. Service provider, app, and bind. Then we're gonna have a function, and we're gonna use the help service function. It's gonna use like that. This items is not gonna usually use in Laravel, but they're gonna ask you that. Let me just check recording. Is it okay? That's fine. This is like that. So It means the app service provider provide register services and boot services. This is the diagram. Works like this. So, number 6. How does Laravel handle CSRF protection? CSRF, it's synonym of cross-site request foreigning. So many attacks in login or register forms works with this. So how we can avoid that? Include CSRF in Laravel. It's so easy. It's not something. We have a form here with method post and action is submit. No intelligence. Thank you, VS Code. And we have an input here. The type is text. And the name is name, like this. We have a button here. The type is submit. Thank you again, no intelligence. I'm gonna send it. So usually in Laravel, when you use this type of forms, you need to submit some data and return it. Sometimes the username and password is wrong, and you should return some messages. So attackers can use that messages to attack your page. So how we can handle that? It's so easy. It's just some words. @ CSRF. It's done. So we can avoid cross-site request or CSRF protection. It's so easy with this code in Laravel. And let's get to number 7. What is the difference between has one and belongs to? Let me just write it down. Has one and belongs to. So has one means one model owns another model. One model owns another model. This means has one. Belongs to means one model belongs to another model. It's easy. So I'm gonna show you the sample, but in description Has one means one model owns another model. Belongs to means one model belongs to another model. I'm gonna show you in a code. So let's get down. So we have a function here. It's for has one. Public function profile. So let me just has one. So we return here this has one profile class. This is a sample of has one function. So it means one model owns another model. Profile owns another profile. So let me go with long longs one. So it's public function user return this belongs to user class. This is the difference, and I think this one is so easier than other one. So has one means one model owns another model. Belongs to means one model belongs to another model. This is the description. So about the number 8. What is a job and query in Laravel? So I'm gonna tell you something about this one, and then I'm gonna create a sample. Sometimes you need to send an email or request to an API, but you wanna create a job for that. It means sending email and go to next code. So we need to create a query or worker like that. So sending email or connecting to API, it's gonna take some time. So we use query in Laravel. So let me create a diagram for this again. User action, like clicking something. What happened? Dispatch job. Dispatch job, and then this job go to query to do, and worker do the job, and finally job is executed. So This user actions means user clicks something, user submits something, user do anything with your applications. It means that allow you to delay some codes and run some codes in the background. I think I did this bad one. Sometimes you need to do something like sending an email or connecting to API. It's not necessary to have it in to have it right now. So you create a worker in GUI, you send the job to that GUI or worker to do it in background, like sending an email, connecting to API or anything, and user can do the rest of the work with the website. It means you have two jobs in your process. One it's in background and one it's user sees and it's working. I'm gonna show you some sample, like send email. You have a function send email, you send email like that, dispatch it. It means you send a function to background to execute, and user continue using the site or using the system. Two jobs, one background, one is active for user. So number 9, what is the difference between include, extends, and yield? Okay, just a second, I should download something. Let me just do that. Add sign include, that PHP workers work a lot with that. Add sign extend, is it correctly spelled? Extends, yeah. And the third one is yield. So what's the difference? I'm gonna explain it. Include, insert, partial view. Partial view. So when you include something, PHP workers use a lot of includes for header and for header and footers. They usually use this. They use include for all the pages to not put header and footer in all pages. They create a PHP file, they create a header in that pages, and they create a footer in that page, in another page, and just they include it in a page to not code every time in the PHP file. So what is extends? Specifies the layout to extend. So what does that mean? You have a layout, you wanna show a part of layout. I mean, like include, you create a header and you create a footer, so it should be two files. But in Extends, you can start using a layout and start a section and end the sections in one file. You don't need to create multiple files for this one. I'm gonna show you in code to understand it better, but it looks like this. And the yield. What the yields do, marks a section for injection. This is the difference. So I'm gonna show you a sample of that, how does work. So let me just open up. Okay, so it's HTML. We have body here. I don't have no IntelliSense. And we use @Yelp. The content. It returns to that form that we have, CSRF. Usually we use Yelp for that, to show that content, and the user cannot access that content. So it's yield. What about the layout? The extents. We know all include it like this. You have a PHP file, you use @include, and you put the file name like header.php or just file name. That's the include. The page is gonna show up in the layout, it's gonna show up in the page. But the difference between yield is here. Sorry, with extents. We start extents. We put the layout here. And we start section. So what section we want? @section, content. We use arrow like content, hello world, and we end the section. This is the difference. It's kind of complicated, but this is the difference. If you want to just explain to if you just wanted to explain it, you can use just these words. In the partial view for include, extends means it specifies the layout to extend, and yield means mark a section for injection. This is the differences. but in the code it's like that. And last one, number 10. What is the route model binding in Laravel? So in PHP, for each pages you should create a file, a PHP file. But in Laravel, you don't need to create a file for each pages. You have routes. Route model binding automatically injects model instances into routes based on route parameters. You can put parameters, you can put anything in that. So how the routes work in Laravel. So I'm gonna show you a sample. It's route get. I'm gonna use it like that. User, like user. You send the code, name, or anything. Function, user, and we return $user email. This is work like that. In routes, this is get, this is not post. When you open the URL, you'll have the user, like a page, localhost.com/user. And after that, there is a slash. You put some parameters like user ID or name or anything, and that one's converts to user. You don't need to use a lot of SQL connections to get that. That's gonna convert to user, and you're gonna return it in the function, or you can do anything in that. So that means routes model binding automatically injects model instance into route based on route parameters. So this is the answer of what is route model binding in Laravel. So this 10 questions was the common one. For who knows the Laravel, who works with Laravel, they may know this, but in a situation that they want to answer that without coding, it's look like this. So it's common questions, but they may ask a lot of things. I'm trying to do my best for these practices for another programming languages to the PHP, Laravel, and the ASP.NET C#, MVC, and Razor we had. We're gonna have a lot more, but this 10 was common questions that usually companies ask. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and ask me any question that you have in comments. I've read all of them, answer them, and I will check that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoy it.